This is Andy Parole for Boxing Social in association with Pursue Fitness Sportswear. It's very late, but I'm delighted to be joined by Eddie Hearn. Eddie, you've waited around, so I appreciate your time. We've just witnessed Vasyl Lomachenko's brilliance. Your thoughts on his victory over Logan Paul?
Amazing fight. You know, for someone who's been a fight fan for over 30 years, to watch that up close was an honour. So proud of Loma Campbell. You know, I gave him 3 rounds, maybe 4, being a bit biased. I thought the scoring was a bit harsh, but of course Lomachenko was a clear winner. Campbell was brave, he was smart, he hurt Lomachenko a couple of times, but he's just so good. You know, he's so good with his feet, you know, his output, he's in range, he's out of range. And it was just amazing to watch. And I'm pleased that, you know, a lot of people wrote Campbell off, and I know that he wasn't particularly close to winning the fight, but he gave everybody 12 rounds to watch this great, and he will be a world champion, I truly believe it.
Was there any more that you feel that Luke could have done? I remember there was that moment in the 7th or something where he seemed to hurt
him to the body, and then he hurt him to the head, and then I stood up and started screaming, and then Lomachenko just hit him with a 4 or 5 punch combination, and it was back to the drawing board, and that's what he does so well. So he couldn't, even in the 12th round, he was stalking him, Campbell, he was trying to let his hands go, but it's like when you fight Lomachenko, what do? If you box off the back foot, you're letting him walk you down and stalk you with his feet. If you start pushing him back and taking chances, he's going to counter-punch you. So you can't win, can you? And Luke tried a bit of everything, and I thought it was brilliant.
Now, Luke's obviously gone to hospital. Can you just fill us in on how he's doing?
He just didn't feel great. He was very sore to the kidneys. I mean, I think it was the 4th or 5th round. It all, you know, the first, that's when it all started. And, you know, he didn't feel great. His cheek was particularly bruised, and just take him to the hospital for precautions. I spoke to Shane, who said that he's okay, and he'll be fine.
Now, I know we've got to whiz through the rest of the cards because you're on limited time. So we start off with Fury Povetkin. Your thoughts on that one?
It was a decent fight. I mean, everyone sort of gives Fury stick, but he's 24. How many right hands did he take off Alexander Povetkin, like clean down the pipe? He's got an amazing chin. And I was sort of screaming at him saying, you know, in 9 and 10, start pushing him back, force the action. But again, when you got some fat promoter just screaming that at you, it's easier said than done. Like Povetkin would have poleaxed 90% of heavyweights tonight. So I give him a lot of credit. He stepped up to try and fight a very good heavyweight. Give him credit. He's 24 years of age. Heal up, come back, get a win, and move on again.
Did you think the scorecards were fair?
Wide. Well, I still had Povetkin winning. He won the fight, but I gave it to him by 3 rounds, something like that, 3 or 4 rounds. Or was it 6 or something? 6, yeah. So I thought that was particularly wide.
Edwards Martinez. Now, I've never seen anything like that before, Eddie.
Nor have I. And I think Maurizio Sulaiman did brilliant. You know, what he basically did was he took away the process that would have led to the same decision. So I think, and if Maurizio wasn't here tonight, I think that a normal supervisor would have said, look, I need to go back to the president, we need to look at this, and they would have ruled a no contest. What Maurizio said, well, I don't need to look at it, I've just seen it. It was the latest lowest blow I've ever seen. He was on one knee, he actually walked around the side of him and stuck one in his kidneys. So, and he was silly, Martinez, because Charlie was hurt. You know, it was going to shape up to be a great fight. So Charlie's got to go away. I'm sure they'll call an immediate rematch. Charlie's got to look at it and say, do I move to super fly now? Because I'm struggling to make fly. He's 8 stone, you know, but he's world champion. And out of pride, he'll want to probably do the fight again.
Josh Buatsi and Joe Cordina also picking up victories?
Yeah, Buatsi was great. Much needed rounds. You know, Ryan Ford was super tough. Want to see that back, actually, because he hit him with one really good body shot and then the other one looked a little bit low. I think it was inevitable, the ending, but, you know, fair play to Ryan Ford, gave him some great rounds, and he'll move on now to fight in November.
Joe Cordina.
Really good. Hurt his hand badly in the 4th or 5th round, but I thought it was an electric start. Brilliant movement, you know, and, you know, Cordina's the kind of guy that one day you hope can fight Lomachenko himself, but obviously it's huge levels in this sport, and, you know, I thought he was great tonight.
How big is that gap between world level and Lomachenko?
It's world level. It's not even elite level. It's just genius level. You know, I mean, Luke Campbell is a world-class fighter. I believe he can mix it with all the elite lightweights in the world. You know, I've seen him with like Linares. You know, his dad passed away a week before the Linares fight. He shouldn't have even been in that fight. He nearly won it. He fights Lomachenko, and you know, I know it was wide, but it's just how do you beat him? And, you know, he did brilliantly well, couldn't have done any better, and I think he became a hero tonight.
There's a sense of frustration on your part that you really want to try and get one over on Loma.
These guys are like Canelo, you know, I'm glad we've got Usyk, you know, because he's another guy. How'd you beat Usyk? So, you know, these guys are brilliant to watch, and I think the British crowd really appreciate it.
A couple of quick things away from this one to get your opinions on. You announced the World Boxing Super Series for October 26th. Just talk me through that, and Derek Chisora versus Joseph Parker on that card.
Yeah, I mean, it's a massive card. Progress against Taylor, unification. Chisora against Parker, Burns against Selby, and Garbu against Okoli for the European title as well, and loads more to add. So that's a monster card, October 26, and look forward to being back here.
Now, Burns Selby, Lee moving up once again. He moved up to 135 on the back of his loss to Warrington. So it is a
Burns is at 135 anyway, so it's that fight's at 135. Really good fight. I mean, winner takes it all, and the loser packs his bags and off he goes.
Now, the WBA also ordered the fight between John Ryder and Callum Smith. I know there was a lot going on with regards to Callum entertaining offers from other promoters. Just talk me through the entire situation.
I think Joe Gallagher was entertaining offers from other promoters. We've got an option to do Callum's next fight. John Ryder's won 2 final eliminators, so we knew this was going to be ordered a long time ago. They've ordered it, and we'll see whether that's the right fight for John Ryder next. John Ryder has agreed terms to fight Chris Eubank Jr., but we're still waiting for them to come back, so we'll see what happens.
I know you've also put your hat into the mix for the KSI versus Logan Paul fight. The Daily Mirror said that you are going to be promoting it. What is the latest with regards to that?
We'll see. There's a lot of things that I want to be in place for that fight to take place. You can't ignore it. It's huge, huge. I mean, probably bigger than any fight out there. But again, I don't want a night of white-collar boxing. I want a night of World Championship boxing. And if that can feature on there, under certain rules, we'll see this week.
Define certain rules.
To respect the code of the sport, and that's the main thing. If you want to do it, this isn't celebrity boxing. This is for real, and I'm really excited by the potential to bring a whole new audience into the sport. But if you're bringing this audience into the sport, you're not bringing them in to show them something that's not the sport. Does that make sense? Yeah. So, I don't want this I want pure boxing. I want a World Championship undercard. I want giving our fighters the opportunity to gain exposure on a massive show like that worldwide to a new, young, vibrant audience. So if I can piece all that together, I'd love to do it.
Now, Billy Joe Saunders was rumoured for that card. Are you worried or concerned at all that the fan reaction to seeing him out there on a card like that might not be great?
The fans don't understand. They revolt against things like that when they actually should open their mind a little bit and say, well, why wouldn't you want to box at a sold-out Staples Centre with more people watching you fight that could ever be possible anywhere else? So, we'll see if Billy goes on that card. But Devin Haney, Devin's got to win in a couple of weeks. But that's the audience. We can't be naive enough. That if you do an interview with KSI or Logan Paul, it's going to smash your numbers, right? So what we're going to do is just ignore it. If it's right and it's real and it respects the code, we should look at it.
And finally, Gervonta Davis has named his number, 10 million.
Yeah, it was a bit lumpy, wasn't it? I was hoping he'd say 7 or something like that. So we'll see. I think Gervonta Davis wants to come on board and take this fight. So they're begging him not to, but we'll see what happens.
Eddie, I appreciate your time. Thanks, Speeds Boxing Social.
Thank you. Cheers.